The work to healing starts with you. The work to change starts with you. And you know that popular saying, if it doesn't challenge you, it cannot change you. So instead of coming into that default mode of complaining, whining, and whining, pick up the courage and go have the conversation. Welcome to another episode of Random Career Chats with Bukola. In this episode, we'll be talking about just one thing. Because of how important this one thing is, I'll be talking about it. And that is have those conversations. Please pick up the courage from the floor and have those conversations. You see, all the complaints. I mean, if you sit down and list out what are the things I do not like about my work and I do not like about what's going on in the circle of my friends, or I do not like what's going on in my marriage, whatever that is, the work to healing starts with you. The work to change starts with you. And you know that popular saying, if it doesn't challenge you, it cannot change you. So instead of coming into that default mode of complaining, whining, and whining, pick up the courage and go have the conversation. A lot of people are going through things at work, like really toxic situations, and they've been dealing in a particular way with their bosses or with their colleagues. And they've been, taking it on. They wouldn't complain in the face of the person. They will just take it and take it and take it. But then they do know that this is having a huge impact on them, on their mental health. It is having a huge impact on their ability to rest and recover. It is having a huge impact on their ability to innovate, share their own ideas and all of that. Yet they do not talk about it. So they manage. You cannot manage a toxic situation, and you cannot manage something that does not serve you. You need to first off have the conversation. You will be shocked that once you go and have the conversation, that things it will look like a 360-degree change. But things will change once you have the conversation. You can say something like, oh, my boss is very wicked. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to ask him for this. I need this leave day, or I need this support, or I need to go and pick my kids from school. I need an hour during the day. Tiny little things, flexibility here and there. But you would rather go through the most painful part, maybe giving your money away, or trying to look for and help elsewhere rather than going straight to the root of the problem. Am I oblivious to the fact that there are some bosses that are just, you cannot deal with them? No, I'm not. I get that and I understand it. But I also know that conversation is an option. No matter who this person is, conversation is an option. Now, don't also let me just talk away and just say, do it as though I'm just inspiring you. Let me also share with you some of the tips and tricks to have difficult conversations. Number one, if you are going to become a leader at some point in your career, you're going to lead others. You have to get used to having difficult conversations now. Imagine you being the CEO of an organization and your organization isn't doing as well. So you need to cut down on staff strength, and you need to, basically cut down on staff strength. And then you need to make some people redundant within the organization. Do you think that conversation is going to be easy? Do you think that conversation is going to be easy? Or do you think the conversation around telling people who have been open for some months or years for promotion that they are unable to get promoted, do you think that conversation will be easy? Or do you think the conversation of moving people, telling people to relocate from one plant to another or from one branch to another, even though they've got their own family set up in a place, do you think that conversation is going to be easy? All of those are more conversations you'll be having as a leader of an organization. So don't say, I hope to become the MD, I hope to become the CEO, I hope to become the CEO, without you, training yourself, learning that skill of having conversations now. So you're going to become a leader tomorrow. So awkward conversations should begin to become your bread and butter. So you need to start learning how to have those conversations. That's number one. So that is me. trying to reframe it in your mind that it's not that bad. You can actually learn how to have those conversations. The second thing I need you to think about is with conversations, there is a skill. It's like a negotiation skill when you go and have those difficult conversations. The first thing is make up your mind that you want to talk about it because it's the elephant in the room. It is affecting you clearly and you need to get it out of the way. But number two, you need to be extremely professional and pleasant when talking about those things. So it's not, you're always doing this, you're always doing that, you're always making me feel less of myself, you're always making me feel bad. No, that's not it. When you go into those types of conversations, the first thing you need to do is to find something that draws them in, some positive validation that draws them in. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your support for my career. Over the last couple of months, I've been with you. Thank you for this. You can even give an example of a time when they did something you really loved. Then you can then go slightly into the issue on the ground and say, I'd really like to discuss something with you if you do not mind. And then tell them, give them the fact pattern. Don't say you did this, you did this, you did this. Don't make it an accusation because it's not an accusation. You cannot get anything meaningful from an accusation, but you can get meaningful stuff from laying things on the ground, the fact pattern. You can say on this day, this happened, rather than they did that. It is this happened. And then this was the impact. Now, let me tell you something. The only reason they will care about these quote unquote complaints or conversation you're coming to have is if they can see clearly that it impacts something else they care about. So you can say something like the team may not be as productive because of this situation. So you can say things like, I would really, we may really enjoy, I may really enjoy more ABCDE. That will lead to me being more productive and completing my tasks on time or whatever that is. So say for instance a boss will message you in the middle of the night and all of that, and then you can't get good sleep, and then you have to come in the next morning. You can talk about how all those things they're doing is impacting you and impacting the work you're delivering because you're not getting enough sleep, you're not getting enough rest, you're coming in the next day and you're already exhausted. It is impacting the work. If you have boundaries around the working hours, it is easy for you to then come and get enough rest, get enough time with your family, come back the next day and smash everything you need to smash out. Okay, so you could say that. But I need you to understand that until you tie something else they care about to that thing you're complaining about, they may, especially if they are narcissistic, they may not want to listen to you because they may then feel like, oh, why should I change for you to be comfortable? See what I mean? So think about that. So lay it on the floor, attach it to something else they care about that may be failing because of that behavior or because of how they sort of treating you and all of that. Say all of that. Then if you have specific examples, you need to have that. So you need to rehearse your pitch or the things you're coming to say, you need to rehearse it. Watch the tone of your voice as well when you have the conversation. Be very confident, but no shouting, no yelling, no outburst of emotional. Don't get emotional on them because that's not going to solve anything. Okay, so try all of that and then have the conversation, and then give them some recommendations as well. Say, for example, in this case, if this had happened, it may have. So you can nudge them in the right direction. Now, no matter how wicked, not great a boss is, because you've had the conversation, the next time you and them come into that same scenario, they will remember that you have complained or you have talked about their behavior in those types of situations. So, for instance, in a very highly pressured situation, if your boss is the one that just, basically goes off just shouts, yells, and all of that, when you come into the next situation after the conversation, they will be more mindful of their behavior because you've spoken about it. So that brings it into their consciousness. Because sometimes what becomes repeated pattern is what has been tolerated. That is what becomes repeated pattern. But if you don't have the conversation, then nothing is going to change. Okay, so I will ask you to please go and have the conversation. Now, let me give you the last tip. You may not have the conversation, but you may have endured that behavior for 2-3 years. then somebody else will come through. Maybe an even younger person will come through. And in less than a month, the person is like, oh no, I'm not pulling up with this. And they have the conversation, they get more respect, they get everything they need to get, they get a good working environment. And then you are like, oh, they just like that person. No, you just don't know. They may have gone to have the conversation. So you need to get into that habit of having the right conversations that move you forward, that moves your career forward, moves your life forward, and you'll be happy that you did that. I hope this video has helped and you've enjoyed it in the same way that I've enjoyed making it. Please like, share, comment, leave me comments because I like to read them. Also, if you want to work with me, there will be a link in the description box that you can use to join my community or to speak with me one-on-one. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.